The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 20th day of October, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, and Linders. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry, how are you on this fine Thursday morning?
You know, Jamal, it's Thursday.
No, I don't know what that means.
I start getting a feeling because I could see Friday right over there, Jamal.
Hey, that's what that Sherry shaking about? Okay.
Yes.
You
Yes.
need to be Hartman bouncing. I don't know that Sherry shaking.
Well, someone already told you it looked like you was having a fit of some sort when you do that.
Oh, really?
So that's not what I want to do.
Bumps. Yeah.
It looks so seasoned.
You know
just
what?
So you know.
You know what? That said, I didn't have one, but I'm gonna do one. You know what? Let's bring Maya in before we start this show. Let's bring Maya in only because you try to make a joke about my dancing and it didn't quite work out. It worked out,
Jamal.
You know what? No,
everybody in the audience is laughing. Trust me when I tell you.
I'm not bringing Maya in because Maya too rude. She don't laugh at my jokes. It's gonna be on you this morning.
I sent you a joke actually.
You did.
Did you like it? Did you find it funny?
It was okay. It was so okay that I don't even remember it.
Where does a rainbow go when it's in jail? For jail or something?
Oh, you don't even remember your joke?
Because it wasn't mine, Jamal. Like, I'm not practicing to do what you're doing.
Right, because I'm going to be opening up for people like, Eddie Murphy and them.
All right, speak it into existence.
Here's your joke. What did Della wear?
Delaware.
What did Della wear?
A state.
Audience, anybody? What did Della wear?
New York, New Jersey.
Yes, she got it. She got it.
I knew I was somewhere close.
She got it. I'm happy. New Jersey. What did Della wear? New Jersey. Get it?
That is so.
But you got it.
Jamal, let me just tell you, it's only because one of my good friends lives in Delaware, and I just went to New Jersey during, the holidays and understood that they were that close that I kind of knew where you was going. That's why I said a state, New York, New Jersey. And when I said it, it just...
Well, I'm glad you got it, Sherry. I'm glad you got it. And she laughed too, folks. So the joke's getting better. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Korrin Lightbourne to the show to discuss, well, it's Tech Week, Bermuda Tech Week. The Daily Play is a name that place. So, yeah.
I just did. I should be already...
That was different. We also want to welcome our newest members of our YouTube channel. You too can become a member by subscribing, then hitting the join button beneath it. Now, keep in mind, only those who have joined our YouTube channel and are upstanding members of the TDH community will be eligible for all giveaways and prizes going forward. So you know that $500 we were giving away per month at the beginning of the year, that will only be for our members and supporters.
Uh,
Welcome again to a new member, Sam B. Welcome
okay.
to Rashida Godwin. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
I need an
Someone's
answer.
name to be deleted. We appreciate you.
That sounds like something you would teach Mal, to be honest.
Truthfully, seriously. Yeah, I'm that guy. No, I don't use pseudonyms. I would use my real name, but I probably have it as a nickname maybe in the middle. But look, folks, we've got a conversation to have. Obviously, you all like waking me up with text like 3 a.m. when something comes through. You gotta respect the brothers. What's that? What makes you think I'm up that early? I mean, I am, but what makes you think I'm up that early? You just because I'm up that early don't mean you should be WhatsApping. I mean,
And then he sends them on.
yeah, you're damn right I do. You're damn right I do. To the TDH group,
Stop
especially.
it.
If I got to look, you all got to do it. If I'm going to do it, showtime. But we got a question for you this morning. We have this election tonight, a leadership election for the PLP, and that means it's a leadership election for the country as far as the premier goes. And so, question is very simple. If you haven't seen the video making the rounds with the former Minister of Finance and challenger for tonight, what I will say is, look, I've been accused of having bias. Teo said many years ago, we all have bias. That's how we live. Like, not one person in this world doesn't have a bias. The fact that we believe that we don't have bias is probably one of the most
bias thing.
No, it's stupid. It's not bias. It's stupid. It's really ridiculous to think that. It tells me something's not clicking in your head. We all have bias, and my bias is clear. I'm going to be honest with you. We tend to do what we believe is in our best interest. But before we get into today's conversation, let me just say this. There is no freedom without economic freedom. From the pulpit to social media to the news outlets, everyone, including myself, has had their own biased opinion regarding this leadership contest that's before us tonight. My bias has been clear from the beginning. I'm for Bermuda and what I believe is best for Bermuda. So I believe we all should be doing, I'm just asking myself, why continue the path that we're on? How have the lives of Bermudians actually improved since 2017? What has been done to slow down mainly Black Bermudians leaving in droves? What legislation and policies have been put in place that have attracted the investment and people the island needs? And no, don't give me that stuff about the digital nomad. Seriously. We're talking real investment and actual people long term. See, we get a lot of press conferences and sound bites from people in fancy suits and ties who are making salaries that allow them to live a better life than those who support them. I don't know if a new leader will be better, and I don't believe a new leader will be the savior. But what I do know is that if we remain with what we have after the last 5 years, we're basically sending a message that everything is okay and that we love punishment. I do believe what I'm about to say. I think Bermudians are the smartest group of people in the world. But we, like others, make decisions that are not in our best interest. We make silly decisions, stupid decisions. Tonight's an opportunity for a small section of the intelligence within Bermuda to show up and do what's in the best interest of the PLP, Bermuda, and themselves, not an individual. So my hope is that whatever the result is, Bermuda and Bermudians, well, I'm not calling for an uprising, but what I'm saying is if the result is not what you feel is in the best interest of the country, well, the next move's on you. Leave it at that. Your question of the morning. How are you feeling about tonight's PLP Leadership Challenge? It's very simple. How do you feel? Not just about who do you think is going to win, but how do you think Bermuda fares regardless of who wins. What are your thoughts? How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
Well, you got me listening to, WhatsApp messages at while I'm brushing my teeth this morning.
Mm.
But in listening to that message, it was some key points. Um, I'm not present to be there or be a part of it, of course, because I'm not a delegate. But um, I believe Mr. Dickerson makes some very valid points, and not even ones that he really needs to, because it's just out there. All of these trinkets that we're getting seem to just
Mm.
be falling out. Like Christmas came early
Mm-hmm.
for the island. It's like all of a sudden, all of these things have become about, um, and it's just like, oh wow, but we've been asking for this information. We've been asking for these things to happen. We've been asking for this, and then now that an election comes. So for me, Jamal, politics is not one of my major things, but the blatant and the just the audacity of certain things that is right there in front of you. It's like, hmm, even
Mm.
a blind man can see what's going on. And I just don't like that. I just feel like I'm being bamboozled. Um, if that's the
Yeah.
correct word.
Well,
I feel like I'm being bamboozled. But I will say this. It is it's hard for Bermudians to trust, right? And what I find difficult is, how do we trust that Curtis Dickinson is going to do what he says he's going to do? And that's the thing about politics. Everyone comes with all of these things that they say they're going to do. But how can we trust that everyone's going to follow through with what they say they're going to do when previous record has shown some different things?
mm.
And that's the hard part for me.
I
That's how I feel about it.
and I think your opinion's more valid than mine 1,000 times more. And I'm gonna tell you why. Folks, Sherry don't do politics. Sherry's not. She's literally a layman, like just an opinion from the outside looking in. This is the opinion that to me holds weight. This is a person, like I said about the U.S. election the other day on my Facebook. No party affiliation for me. I literally want to go into things with an open heart and mind. And when you do that, you actually tend to do what's in your best interest. Now, does she have a bias? Yeah, her bias is probably what's going to be in the best interest for her and her family, right?
Yeah.
We all have it. But her opinion not as strong as mine, you won't understand that bias. But listen to what she said. Like, this is not a marriage that's hard to get out of. This is not a house for a child that's hard to run away because you have nowhere to go. You have another choice. This is not, like, seriously, a job that you're afraid to leave because you don't have another job to go to. You have another solution. And if that doesn't work out, is the risk not worth it?
Mm.
You
Mhm.
know what you've been through. Not one person, literally. I challenge anyone in the audience today to tell me how Bermuda, how the PLP, how you and your family have improved in the last 5 years. And I'm talking to the audience because I trust that none of you are on a payroll, which is dictating your decision to maintain this status quo.
Yeah.
So, question of the morning: how are you feeling about tonight's PLP Leadership Challenge? And we will be speaking more about the video released by the Honorable Curtis Dickinson this morning. Mia Hartman says Bermudians have always been afraid to hold their own accountable, but speak out against the world. Well, let me tell you something. Nobody in PLP could talk to me about race and blackness. The way that they allowed the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party to attack 14 black men who were literally fighting for the very things the party was founded on. Don't talk to me about race and black, because they love to run this. It's always our own, or this and that. Somebody said it last
Right.
week about my comments. Player, my own don't underestimate my intelligence when they value me. My own doesn't take advantage of their own people for political gain. My own have integrity. My own are not desperate to hold on to a political career and because it benefits them, not the people. My own actually have humility.
Yeah.
Dr. Maria Seaman says there must be a real divide within the party. Not good. Folks need to be honest. I think at this point, a split within the PLP would be in Bermuda's best interest. Do I want that to happen? No. But if it's in Bermuda's best interest, then yes. I speak from the outside. I'm not in the PLP meetings. I'm not a delegate. But there are people there, folks, that there are people who share the videos in there, share the conversations. We know.
Mm-hmm.
So they can say, oh, well, Sherry, Jamel, Sancha, oh, they don't know this. They don't. You would be surprised in a small community how much information is shared that's fact. Just yesterday, I shared a tweet that said this can't be true, that a non-Bermudian can't vote in a general election, but they can be a member of the PLP chosen as a delegate and vote for the leader of the country. That can't be true. So please tell me that's not true. It can't be. Back to the question. How are you feeling about tonight's PLP leadership challenge? Mark Arthur C. Phillips for you, Sherry.
This is an extremely important vote for the delegates. The vote should be based on what is the best for the country. And I believe that. I've always said that to Jamal, just period. What is in the best interest of the company? What's in the best interest of your family? What's in the best interest of our country? What is in the best interest? And if I'm not that best interest, then move me. It's real simple. But to kind of throw things,
jokes.
throw things,
You like that one, ain't it?
but to throw things at us, and I feel for me, Jamal, I'm not sure for yourself, but living out here in Georgia and then coming back to Bermuda for a chunk of time, and then kind of moving back out here to kind of see in 2008, 2009, when I did come to Bermuda to now 2022, it's a vast difference in the economics. Of course, 2008, that was kind of the crash in the United States, right? Bermuda didn't feel that until some years later. So we were still bustling in 2008, 2009. Someone said, government workers were getting a cost of living increase. I lean forward because that used to happen, but it doesn't anymore. There's so many things that just don't happen anymore. That used to be very important for the economy. How did that just slip away?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not into politics, but we could see this.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam Cat Plays says, agree it, Sherry. Let's hope and pray we don't get bamboozled again. But I truly believe Dickinson and Ming together will get it right, or at least start the direction we need to move in. Weldon Wade says, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Weldon. We are proud to have you as a member of our channel. We appreciate you coming on board, and your support is extremely valued. More than just words, but financial, putting his money where his mouth is. Renee Simmons says, I viewed it last night, and Bert sounded good. He danced, even apologized. But you can fool the people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. What I'm calling for, I'll just be very direct. I understand that we get elected as we are. You get elected as PLP. But there's two things that can happen. If David Burt maintains his position as premier, I do wonder if he'll call a snap election because of the fear of a party split. I do wonder if he will. David Burt is a brilliant guy when it comes to winning at competition in terms of politics. Where I think he's fallen short, as has the party, is governing. I think they've fallen short at governing. And I just can't understand how anyone who cares about the most vulnerable can believe that the last 5 years have been good for Bermuda, especially the most vulnerable. I just, in my heart of hearts, and Sherry, you make a great point, because Look, I've been in the United States since 2001, all but 3 years when I was in Bermuda, 2007 to 2010. And coming back to Bermuda every time I come, you know how they say you don't normally see how you grow or evolve over the years, but other people see it easier.
Mhm.
Well, coming from the outside and coming back and seeing how Bermuda has changed over the years, and not changed necessarily for the better, but seeing how it's changed. And every time, I get back to Bermuda, this is shut down. This is derelict. This is no longer in service.
This program doesn't exist anymore.
Yes. The streets, Reed Street's dead. There's nobody outside on, there's nothing. Folks, I'm not blaming that on the government. Don't get me wrong. But you do have to wonder, what role they play in these changes.
And I'm just say this real quick, Jamal. You watched it, right? When you talk about Ton, Hamilton, and what so forth. There was a time you used to go on a Saturday and you could not find a parking space. Could not find a parking space in Ton on Saturday. Go Ton now.
Yeah.
Go Ton now.
And folks, I'm speaking as a person. I'm in South Florida these days, and as you know, Florida's booming economically. Now, there's not always I'm going to be clear. Booming doesn't necessarily mean great for everyone.
Right.
Right? Because some people are displaced. But with what's happening in Bermuda, with people, the argument from some is people have always left Bermuda in droves. Folks, it's a worrying time. And if it's not arrested, well, yeah, I know Maya's calling, but she's the reason she's still back. We're waiting for her videos to upload, folks. So she could wave all she want back there. I'm just waiting for her videos to upload. We're gonna bring her in. I know the audience is getting anxious too. You wanna, but just gotta make sure that she's working. No, Maya puts in the work. She's doing it, but I just have to make sure that I have one more to put up. She's got some videos for you, and she's gonna show you a clip of the Honorable Curtis Dickinson, who released a video this morning. Let me just make sure it's one more to go. So forgive us, this happens. But actually, you know what? Let's bring her in because, again, this conversation is not just about this show. Welcome, Karen Simmons. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. She is our latest member of our YouTube channel. Got love for Karen. Me calling her Karen, that's on Karen in my mouth, sorry. The collaborative approach to politics by Mr. Dickinson is excellent. Hopefully he can bring consensus about quickly. Go ahead,
Let me just say this. Sorry. Let me just say this, and I think it was Sam Cat Place that mentioned it. And I just want Bermudians to understand, if the Honorable Curtis Dickinson gets into leadership for our country, can we all give him just a little bit of grace and let him work out the kinks before we're like in his first year? See, he couldn't even do change. We tend to do this kind of things without allowing people to have to sift through the mess to figure out how they're going to fix it. You
gave 5 years to what would be his predecessor if he was successful, so he deserves the same time. Let's bring Maya in now. They're all good. For the first time, it's not. I'm putting it on her. You know me, folks. It's on Maya. No, she puts in the work. So we've got some good content for you guys. Let's bring Maya in for the news break. And we have Korrin Lightbourne coming on after that. We're talking Tech Week. All right.
Good morning. Good morning. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy.
Oh, good morning, Sister Maya. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. A little bit of a fog in my throat this morning, so excuse me.
No worries. I see you have a different background today.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. No more wall, folks. Well, look, we were talking about some things earlier. Obviously, you've put the work in, no matter where you are, what you're doing. The PLP had their opening of the delegates conference last night. Let me just be clear and say this while you're here. Maya has a responsibility as a journalist that I don't have. This is why I don't use the term journalism. I don't mention it. I have the most respect for her, Gary Forster Skelton, Tarai, Gary Moreno, Jasmine Patterson, name it, Dexter Smith, all of them, because the work that they do, they're not allowed to really share opinions. I own my bias. Sherry and Maya are not responsible for my bias and my views. Let me be clear about that.
Clear.
As you saw the other day when Maya was out, you all, I can't deliver news without giving my opinion. But I want to put it there because I don't want people, it's, oh, well, they did, Maya had Mr. Dickinson, but what about Premier Bird? Or they had this and that. Folks, our doors are wide open. Just want to put that preface with that. What you got for us today, Maya?
Well, we're actually going to start out by talking about the opening night last night for the Delegates Conference at the St. Paul AME Church. So as we all know, it was held there. It was about 3 hours long. I tapped in at about the 20-30 minute mark. There's obviously a lot of local performers, and then we got a couple of speeches that came through as well, not just from leaders, but also from members of the community and some MPs as well. So first up, I do want to show you guys a clip that came from the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. This is from Philip Davis. He was Prime Minister of Bahamas since 2021, and he shares some exciting kind of interesting partnership that they're looking to do with Bermuda.
Interesting.
I wish to make an announcement and then extend 2 further invitations. First, in recognition of the close ties between our 2 countries, the Bahamas will appoint an honorary consul to Bermuda. This person will assist Bahamian nationals and businesses in Bermuda and pursue opportunities, mutual opportunities for growth and development, which will be of mutual benefit to both countries.
So my only question as I'm looking this up is, how does it necessarily improve the lives of the most vulnerable? But go ahead, Maya. That's just me in my head thinking.
I'm assuming this will be a newer type of venture, but I did say that in the past, in like the 1990s or something like that, they did have a better connection between Bermuda and the Bahamas. So this is something they're trying to recreate, but in a different way. Next up, next video I'm going to play with you guys. You must have all seen the WhatsApp video that went across about the GenCom hotel being signed, and there was also a article in the Gazette that first, announced it, and that left everyone kind of wondering if that was actually true because another WhatsApp message came through with just speculation. So here's Premier David Byrd kind of alluding to those speculations and giving us a clear perspective of what he has to say about it.
But we got another WhatsApp forward today because, debates are difficult. And sometimes you might say a word or two and people know I talk a lot. But this government also, and I know this is important to you, President Fermert, sealed a deal to reopen the Fairmont Southampton, creating hundreds of jobs in construction and hundreds of BIU jobs after reopening. Now, why do I talk about a WhatsApp forward? Because I think it was the gentleman in the back, Sean Connolly, wrote a story on Monday, and the headline says, Fairmont Southampton deal signed. And I remember it came up online, and I wrote the editor of the Royal Gazette. I was like, Mr. Editor, it was late. I'm like, Mr. Editor, I'm a little bit concerned about this story because as explained, we signed the heads of terms, we're going through the closing documentation, funding has been confirmed, and we're going through it. But the latest WhatsApp forward today is that, people from Fairmont Southampton say the deal's not signed. The heads of terms has been signed. The deal is progressing to closing. There's a whole lot of teams of lawyers working through that closing process, and I have complete confidence that that deal will close because we must deliver those jobs and the return of tourism to this country.
Let me just say, there was a debate between Val Demings, Rep. Val Demings, and Marco Rubio the other night. And a lot of what she said can be said to the Honorable Premier. He literally just said the deal's been signed, but it hasn't been closed. That's what he said. So, brother, in the words of Rep. Val Demings, black man, a black man. Well, one of us is. Please stop acting like the people of Bermuda are stupid, silly, and gullible. Has the deal been closed or not? Signed what? A paper saying that we intend to move forward? Y'all make me want to cuss on this show. People cannot be this gullible.
It's a morning shade. Continue, Maya.
Seriously, man. Go ahead, Maya.
So the premier spoke for roughly, I want to say, 15 to 20 minutes. There was a lot in his speech, mostly regarding to the things that himself and his party have done with their time in power in Bermuda. And with that being said, the Honorable MP Curtis Dickinson did not get a chance to speak. It was said that he was told he didn't have the opportunity to speak last night at the delegates conference. So he himself made a video to post, which I'm sure everyone today will at some point watch. It's about 15 minutes long. It's worth the watch. And the part that I have put in for this news today was kind of a rebuttal to the statement that Premier David Burt made last night. So you go ahead and play that clip.
I do not exaggerate when I say we are on the brink. My political colleague and competitor would have you believe that the way to get out of this problem is to give away $125 million of Bermuda's dollars to overseas developers. This is a dangerous gamble. We all want to see the Fairmont Southampton reopened and restored.
Okay.
Bermudians want to work, not be given handouts, and it is a critical component of our tourism industry. But those who refuse to learn from the OBA failure of Morgan's Point are doomed to repeat it at Southampton Princess. And those who ignore that our tourism workers were disrespected and deprived as they were refused redundancy payments cannot be trusted to have our best interest at heart. The lack of transparency around this deal and the urgency to get it signed regardless of the consequences suggests that either our party leader doesn't know what he's doing, or he is so desperate to cling to power that he would gamble with all our futures for a public relations win. Or he patronizes us by thinking we couldn't possibly understand what is at stake for us, our children, and future generations of Bermudians. Our party leader has asked for more time, but do we believe that more time would change the prevailing view of our people, that the PLP are arrogant, out of touch, and not doing enough to improve our collective lot in life?
Let me just say this. For those who don't know, I actually work in tourism here in South Florida. Yesterday, my mother-in-law texted me while I was on the phone with my father. And I came to the door and I didn't see her text. And she has big smile and happy, right? I just saw you on TV. So obviously you all get South Florida news in Bermuda. So my dad is like, let me look. The reason she saw me on TV is because we actually put on a job fair. Why did we put on a job fair? I met with about 20 hotels and industry partners in South Florida yesterday. And the questions I asked them, what challenges are you facing right now trying to employ people? Why do I bring that up right now? I bring it up because the premier is doing something that Mr. Dickinson just touched on. He's focused on cheap political wins. Let me tell you something. Well, regardless of what chamber meeting I'm attending here in South Florida, or tourism and restaurant meeting, there are challenges finding people. And it's a competitive world out there trying to get people on J visas, as they call them in this country, to come and do these jobs. So if you think building that hotel is going to create the jobs necessary for Bermudians to make a living, sir, it's not going to happen. And what you're doing to this country, it's not pretty. A state like Florida can recover fast because they have a bigger economy. They have a United States of America. Bermuda doesn't have that. Let honesty step to the front of the congregation along with its twin brother or sister, integrity. Enough is enough. Sherry, my apologies.
No, real quick question. And Mr. Curtison, Honorable Curtison Dickinson couldn't speak, and he was just told that he couldn't. Like, how does that work?
No, so I think what happens is it's actually the night off. The leaders are allowed to chat, but based on what he's saying, he was not allowed to speak tonight, which is night off. Now, some people believe it means he wasn't allowed to speak last night, but even still, last night on a leadership challenge, right? Why is the premier allowed to do what? He's literally be a car salesman to the people. So if Mr. Dickinson is allowed to speak along with the premier tonight, then he should repeat what he said in that video. And I think the hardest part is the dismissiveness, but we have to run because we do have a guest coming up. What's the weather looking like today?
So the weather for today is actually looking quite cloudy. Unfortunately, could be maybe a little bit of rain and possible chances of thunder as well. We got a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, thank you, and rest up.
Will do.
All right. See you,
and my days of the year?
Oh, sorry. Days of the year.
It's very quick. It's International Chef's Day. So visit a fine restaurant, get gourmet in your kitchen, and then thank a chef in your life and encourage others to get crafty with food on International Chef's Day.
And that's important because yesterday at this job fair, when the hardest, we all love to eat, go to restaurants, but if there's no chefs, Maya, have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. We've got Korrin Lightbourne. We're talking Tech Week. And as I said yesterday on my private WhatsApp, we all use tech, but do we know how to make tech work for us? Find out what Bermuda Tech Week's all about, how we can get the most out of it. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All right, it's time to have some fun. Welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, just a warm welcome to our latest new members. Aunt Karen Simmons joined today. We've got, we appreciate you, honestly. So all you have to do is on the YouTube video, just hit join beneath it. And also, if you want to give a donation of thanks, just thank us for the contributions we're making to the community. You can also do that. It should be a thanks button underneath. You can go down there and make a donation. All of those efforts go towards one of the partnerships we have coming up with one of Bermuda's local charities. And it's not charity. You know how I feel about charity. It will be a very empowering partnership that we will be having with one of Bermuda's local charities. So you too can become a member by subscribing and then hitting the join button. Keep in mind, I can't emphasize this enough. Only those who have joined our YouTube channel or are upstanding members of the TDH community will be eligible for all giveaways and prizes going forward. That means those $500 giveaways we were doing per month earlier in the first quarter of the year, you will have to be an actual member to be eligible for that stuff. And let's just say the festive season's coming up. We'll leave it at that. Good morning to our good Cynthia. I'm saying Cynthia. Our good sister Cynthia. Dorm. All right, let's bring our brother. We got Korrin. I'm Lord, man. You didn't like that. I'm learning how to roll my tongue. Dorm. Let's bring in our brother Korrin Lightbourne. We're talking Tech Week, folks. Tech Week. Good morning, brother. Oh, hold on. Let me get my. Hold on. Don't. Not yet. Here we go.
It's the air horn for me, Jamal.
Yeah. We got to do it the Bermudian way. Good morning, brother Korrin. Welcome to the show, man.
Good morning, brother Jamal. Good morning, Sister Sherry. It's Sherry or Cherie?
Well, thank you. It's Sherry.
Sherry. Okay, good. I see my name. I got a lot of people mispronouncing it and all of that. So I just want to make sure that I'm pronouncing everything correct.
We're big on
Jamal, are you taking notes? I hope you're taking notes.
We're big on that. Jamal. Yeah.
No, but are you just taking notes at just the detail? Okay.
Yeah. The brother's on point. I know the brother well. He's on point. But look, man, hey, first of all, thanks for doing this. We appreciate conversations like this, community conversations that inform our audience and the greater public about what's going on in Bermuda. But Tech Week, one of my favorite things. I am not technically inclined. I know folks think, oh, we do this every morning. I went to a technical school. Folks, I'm limited, but I do what I can to learn as much as I can from YouTube. That's just me. Whether it's fixing the refrigerator, the water hose, the computer. YouTube's been my greatest teacher. That said, how can people be better than me? Just explain to the audience what is Bermuda Tech Week?
Cool. Good question. So Bermuda Tech Week is, it was built around the Bermuda Tech Summit, which is the Bermuda Business Development Agency's technology-focused forum, if you will. We started out in 2019. That's when we had the first kind of iteration of the Bermuda Tech Summit. And that was kind of built to showcase what was going on in the digital asset space in Bermuda. Back in 2018, we introduced the Digital Asset Business Act, which is a framework, a set of regulation that kind of governs the operations of digital asset businesses. It gives digital asset businesses the regulatory certainty that they need or that they are seeking in order to operate efficiently. So it kind of opens up a door of opportunity for employment in Bermuda for Bermudians. So what we wanted to do was showcase what was going on in that industry with the Bermuda Tech Summit. Now, we didn't just want to have 3 days for one event. We wanted to incorporate everybody into it. This is a team effort. So Bermuda Tech Week is not only the Bermuda Tech Summit, but it's also the Tech Education Day, which is coordinated by the Economic Development Department. This year, we also have a webinar that's going to be put on by the Bermuda Chamber of Commerce, a couple of workshops on NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that are going to be put on by High Tide, Under the Wave, Korrin Lightbourne, who's a local entrepreneur based between Bermuda and New York. You also have
she'll be on next week, I believe.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, let me cut you off real quickly because we want to get back into that a bit later. But I just want to ask, why is an event like Tech Week so important, knowing that literally whatever we do right now, technology is somehow involved?
See, you just hit the nail on the head, right? So we are, I would like to say, in this transitional period from the world as we know it to the world of tomorrow. So you're starting to see a lot more people talking about Bitcoin and digital currencies and NFTs and all of that. You're starting to hear a lot more of these buzzwords. Bermuda Tech Week aims to educate not only the international community to attract businesses to come to Bermuda and create more jobs for Bermudians, but to also educate the local community around what is happening in tech. What should you be looking out for? How do you form a wallet? How do you form an NFT? Like, it's an educational thing, and it's going to help us to move into the world of tomorrow. It's going to help us to hit the ground running when there's no more paper money and, we're doing everything from our phones. So it's a huge educational opportunity, huge opportunity to network.
Yeah. It sounds very interesting, and like you said, the tech world is huge and big. I don't know, of course, in Bermuda, I don't think we have these same ideas or things that we're able to do. I was able to pay for my stuff with Apple Pay. Like I was all excited because I left my wallet in. But with all of these things going on, what can attendees expect to experience during Tech Week?
A little bit of everything, really. So just like I was mentioning earlier, you have a couple of webinars. So if you can't leave the office or your desk, your school desk, you can tune in online to either the Bermuda Chamber of Commerce's webinar. You have a few seminars that are going to be taking place. One is going to be organized or is coordinated by the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation. You also have Korrin Luna's event, which is sold out. Really, really cool. You also have the three-day Bermuda Tech Summit. So that takes place from the 26th to the 28th of October, 3 half days. Content spans from digital asset banks to digital asset insurance solutions to crypto lending and yield products. We're trying to hit every area or the best areas, if you will, of the digital asset space in the Bermuda Tech Summit. So short answer would be a little bit of everything.
Let me follow up on that real quickly. So, she just asked what kind of attendees expect to experience. Who is going to be the typical attendee though? Like, is it just for people in certain sectors?
So that's why I like to say a little bit of everything, because the Bermuda Tech Summit is aimed towards international companies and companies that are based in Bermuda already that are in and around the digital asset business space or the digital asset space. The Bermuda Tech Summit is typically geared towards executives and industry professionals. So from your managerial levels, coordinators, directors, CEOs, and then you have community-driven events like the Tech Education Day that's geared towards students, and a High Tide, What the NFT, they have a student event that takes place, I want to say 2 o'clock or Thursday afternoon, and then that moves into an adult-focused kind of general information session in the evening. So it's something for everybody during Bermuda Tech Week.
Awesome. And what are some of the guests? Who are some of the guest speakers and topics that will be covered?
Well, I don't want to be biased or anything, so I'm not going to single anybody out. But I mentioned earlier we have one panel that focuses on digital asset banking. If you pay attention to the news, you'll know that we recently had a digital asset friendly bank that was licensed with the digital asset business license as well as the banking license. So they will be setting up, we will have representatives there to kind of give information on what services are going to be offered when they do open up. You have some digital asset insurers that will be there. A number of the digital asset businesses that are licensed in Bermuda will also be there and be featured on panels. The Bermuda service provider community that helps to serve these digital asset businesses will be there as well. We will have representation from Next Bermuda, which is actually the Digital Asset Association of Bermuda. Their membership will be there. So it's going to be a wide range of speakers, really good. I will say, I go back on my word, we'll have Michael Casey from CoinDesk and Seth Lewis from the Global Blockchain Business Council. I'm giving those because they're like kind of neutral parties and journalists that are going to be there to kind of showcase what's going on in the digital asset world and bring it back to Bermuda. So
he gave us a little bit of a little crumble, a little tech.
I'm trying to keep it concise, but give a lot at the same time.
Well, you're doing an excellent job. Where can people learn more about Tech Week?
About Tech Week, head on over to the Bermuda Business Development Agency's website. That's www.bda for Business Development Agency.bm. So www.bda.bm. Hit the drop-down menu, click on upcoming events. We have a Bermuda Tech Week page and also a Bermuda Tech Summit page, as well as the rundown of every event that we have coming up until or through to, I want to say, I think it's June next year.
Okay. Just real quickly, because again, I when I posted on my personal page yesterday, I was just like, I said it, we all use technology, but how many of us truly know how we can benefit from it? Just like leave us with the biggest benefits of technology and business today for people.
The biggest benefits of technology and business today for people. So that's a really good question, a really good thing to leave to end the conversation on. But at the beginning of the pandemic, you saw a lot of nations that depended solely on tourism suffer, for lack of better words. Bermuda was able to keep going and kind of stay stable, for lack of better words, because of our international business community, and because of the fact that we have we had investment into Sargasso, which helped them to deliver groceries. So technology enabled us that are in the international business sector to work from home, to stay connected. It allowed the everyday person that had access to a cell phone to stay connected to their relatives and their friends. Technology closes the gap on distance. It lessens the distance between business, between people. I would say without technology, if we faced this pandemic 20, 30 years ago, and it's no disrespect to those people that were living back then, but I think it would have been a completely different experience being locked up inside of your house and not being able to leave and not having access to the things that we had access to just through technology, just through having a cell phone and where we are today. So
I think I was at a job fair yesterday, and they're having trouble finding people to work in the tourism and hospitality space. And one gentleman, he was an HR VP or something, executive at one of the hotels, and he says, I mean, he was just probably one of the best people in HR I've ever met, and he said, it's not about being angry that young people don't want to work anymore, that they're always on the phones or social media tech. It's about us meeting them where they are. And so if we fail to evolve with technology, then what happens? We get left behind, and we're in situations like that.
Exactly.
So honestly, I appreciate Bermuda Tech Week. And audience, please, if you are able, take advantage of these opportunities, because the more we know and learn, the better it'll be. Just one question from the audience. Rosalind Famous asking, does Bermuda have the technological infrastructure to make technology industry one of the pillars of the economy? Any thoughts on that?
I would say no. I would say we're working towards it. That's the best answer that I have. The technology industry or digital asset space is not as new as it was back in 2018, and we're just starting to see the fruit from the seeds that were planted back then start to grow and start to blossom. So we do have a very solid infrastructure when it comes to electricity sourcing, electricity and Wi-Fi. But we do, just like everywhere else in the world, still have strides to go in order to reach our optimal state.
Alrighty, Korrin, thank you so much. Folks, check it out. What's the website again?
www.bda for Business Development Agency.bm. www.bda.bm.
Check it out, folks. We'll share it on our social media platforms as well. Thank you so much. All the best. And please know, as we've told your CEO as well over at the BDA, our doors are wide open to you guys should you need us.
Thank you, Brother Jamal. Thank you, Sister Sherry.
All right, brother. Have a great one. Talk
soon.
All right, folks, if you appreciated that conversation with Korrin about Bermuda Tech Week, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to share you part of the video from the Honorable Curtis Dickinson. Do not go anywhere. If you haven't seen it already, we'll give you a little something, all right?
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. with professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All righty, welcome back. Thanks again to Korrin for coming on, Korrin Lightbourne for coming on Talk Tech Week. I love and value conversations like that, folks. Please share them. Please talk to them, to your family, colleagues. These are important conversations, not just for us, but our economy. Thanks again to One Communications, Linda's People's Pharmacy, and Medical Calls for ensuring we're able to do this with you. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0, great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia, now available throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
Not like how I was yesterday, but that's good because I killed it yesterday.
I want to show people something. I'm going to show the audience what I read from. I'm going to show you. This is the prompter, folks. This is the prompter. So I say, Sherry, are you ready? It's a name, that place, and now she can see the question. What's the name of the region? Oh, I'm going to go to rest. Hold on. What's the name of the region in Northern California that serves as a global center for high technology and innovation?
Silicon Valley. I've been listening and paying attention.
She's right, folks. The answer is Silicon Valley. That's the answer. All right. So you've seen what I read from. That's the prompter. That said, before we go there, and congratulations, she got it. I mean, it's just on a
You
roll.
didn't expect me to get it that fast.
She's not letting me play my music as a late. The arrogance, it's just going on like she's a premium around here. Anyway, look, folks, I want to show you the opening of this before Sherry and I wrap it up. All right, here we go.
Can't hear it. Can't hear it, Jamal.
Oh, I didn't realize people couldn't hear it.
I said it. I said, can't hear it, Jamal.
Oh, my apologies. I'm not sure why you can't hear it, but folks, what I will say is you can go check it out on Mr. Dickinson's YouTube page. But I heard it on my end. I'm not sure why it didn't come through for you all. But go check it out. Go check it out. I think it will do you some justice to listen to what he has to say. Final thoughts on today's show, Sherry.
The question today was, how do we feel about the delegate conference? What was it that, Jamal? Something
Yeah,
to
the
that
contest,
effect.
the leadership
The
contest.
contest. I mean, to me, it's just very blatant in regard to, as I said, the trinkets that are falling out of the air now to what we've had the past 5 years to deal with. I just say, look at, again, go back to looking what is in the best interest of our country and who will suit that the best. And that's where I'm going to leave that at. As far as Bermuda Tech Week, Korrin made I just love everything about it. It is like a foreign language that he was speaking to me, but he's providing a space to find out more. And, about progressing and all of that, you need to learn. But yeah, tech is very important to us. And I'm one of those people that could know what tech is not like 20, 30 years ago. I said it. It is what it is.
I mean,
you thought it. And
I'm
your
a
face
changed-
was all mashed up when
I'm a
you
changed
wasn't
man,
on.
Sherry.
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
was
changed
like,
man. I am a changed man. All right, don't put that on me, folks. Just want to say this. Look, whatever happens tonight, is literally on all of us, not just those who are in the room making the decision. Sir Alex Ferguson, former great manager of Manchester United, used to say, it's not about losing that matters. It's how we respond to the loss. And our response to whatever happens tonight will dictate how Bermuda moves forward.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Our response, the greater community. That said, someone in the audience was asking for the link to the video for Mr. Dickinson, so we will put it in the comments for you. We will share it in the comments.
You'll get it in a WhatsApp message in about an hour. Just hold on.
Right? We've shared it in the comments, so you can go to that link to watch the video from Mr. Dickinson. That said, Tech Week, I think, look, as I said earlier, if you're not evolving with the times, if you're not up to tech, not up to date, but up to tech, then you may be getting left behind. One of my biggest fears is I remember going to the US in 2001, starting college at my Nana. She wasn't used to putting her card in herself. She was used to giving her card to someone. And that was challenging at the time to her. We embrace it today. We don't want anyone touching our cards. One of my fears is getting to an age where I'm not able to embrace technology or not willing to embrace technology. And not just an age, but a mindset where we're not embracing technology. So I'd encourage every and anyone to do what they can to embrace things like Tech Week and any technological advances that can be in your best interest, that can help you, your family, your community. Sherry, you've got any daily inspiration for us before we head up?
I do. Very short and to the point. If you're not positive energy, you're negative energy. And that's from Mark Cuban.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for that, Brother Cuban. And thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and a great day. And yes, I have mine too. Are we the only two on the team or something? And we're the only two that
I'm
not in Bermuda.
not entering into that. Goodbye.
Just talking about you guys.